Howdy guys, welcome back to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath Holland and this is an indicator spotlight video. I've never done an indicator spotlight. I've talked about them a lot. Powerhouse / indicator here over the years. In fact, I've pulled some of this is not my entire indicator collection, but I pulled some of my collection. Some of my favorite releases of all time come from indicator. The Sinbad box set, the 2 Harryhausen volumes. Oh my goodness, what amazing box sets these are. The 5 Tall Tales box set. You guys know I love those Randolph Scott, Bud Bedecker westerns. Indicator put them out several years ago in this gorgeous box set. Yeah, we have them on Criterion 4Ks now, but you still need this set if you're completist for those movies, because there's stuff here that's not on any other sets anywhere. The Sam Fuller box set they put out, this is just scratching the surface on what Indicator has done over the years. So I love the company. I've talked about them for years, but I've never done a spotlights. I was including Indicator in my monthly new release coverage because a few years back, or maybe it was a year, 18 months, something like that, they reached out to the US market and partnered with Alliance Entertainment, who is huge. They own Mill Creek Entertainment. Alliance owns deepdiscount.com. Lots of music services, like music sites. Alliance Entertainment is one of the biggest distributors in the United States, and they have picked up some indicator titles for the U.S. market, like what we saw with Eureka. If you haven't seen my Eureka interview, do check that out. Very similar situation. UK company expanding into North America with select releases. So I was talking about some of those, like the Michael J. Murphy box sets, and then there was some changes behind the scenes, and that coverage ended. But I'm really excited to say that that relationship has been renewed. They sent over these 4 titles that you see here that we're going to talk about. We're going to focus on these 4 titles because this is what they just sent. These are the newest that I have. The Tod Slaughter box set, the 2 Jean Rollin vampire movies, 2 Orphan Vampires, the Shiver of the Vampires, and then the Ormond Family box set, which is we're going to talk about it in just a second, but man, that's the one that's the most controversial to me. So the good news is it looks like my indicator coverage is going to be a regular feature again moving forward. Even better, it looks like I might be interviewing indicator. So if you've got a question that you would like someone, at one of the high ups at Indicator to answer, this is your chance to ask it. Leave it in the comments of this video, and I will do my best to work that into the conversation if that interview happens. All right, so we're going to talk about these 4 releases because these are the latest. They're a couple of months old. They're a few months old. These are not the very latest Indicator titles here for the U.S., but this is what they sent. And furthermore, why am I rushing this coverage out when I maybe haven't watched all these movies yet, which I haven't? It's because they're limited. These are limited editions, and I want to get this coverage out as soon as possible so that you have all the information you need to decide if these are for you or not. So for the Todd Slaughter box set, I got number 4,730 out of 6,000. If you're worried about, that FOMO, the fear of missing out, if that's because I'm trying to be very cautious this year about not pushing that fear, like buy it now. Like it doesn't benefit me one way or the other if you buy these or not. So I will say often Indicator will continue to keep these movies in print after these box sets have sold out. However, if you're attracted to this, you do probably want to get the box sets because they do come with the booklets, the box. I mean, they're beautifully done. And you can look at how they look on my shelf too. Like they are beautifully done box sets. So the movies will probably stay in circulation after these box sets are gone, but beautiful boxes. So I'm the messenger, right? I'm telling you what's out there. I'm excited about the criminal acts of Tod Slaughter, 8 Blood and Thunder Entertainments from 1935 to 1940, because Tod Slaughter is considered the first British horror star. Really, you could argue that, and I'm sure people will. But in a horror market, dominated by Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, Tod Slaughter was there in the 30s. And, there were British, like, people are going to go, well, what about Boris Karloff, right? Okay, but British films, largely British cinema, not Hollywood productions, British productions. And some of these movies are really obscure, honestly. I've only seen a couple of them. So I have the Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street on a very old DVD. if you thought the Tim Burton movie was an original, like it's been that story's been around forever. This is I think the movie's 1935 for Sweeney Todd. In fact, here's my list right here. It's 1936. By the way, I'm gonna hold this up, freeze that. I'll export this video in 4K so you can hopefully read everything there. That's all the information that you're gonna need. The other one, The Face in the Window, is A Face at the Window. I have on Blu-ray. I think Kino Lorber put that out in the United States, if memory serves. So I've got that one. 7 of the 8 films are making their HD debut, and most of these movies have like never had a legitimate home media release. So it's exciting times for people that love horror, people that like me that love like early cinema stuff. Like I'm really excited about this. So I'm going to try to keep this coverage as comprehensive as possible. We'll flip through this book here in a second, but here's what we got. So because these movies are so short, 67 minutes, 68 minutes, 67, 69, the longest movie is 71 minutes. They're double features basically. So they've got, and these are kind of cardboard. I know the packaging is important to you guys, and that's part of what I need to report on. So it's cardboard with a tray and then the one disc. Obviously, these are Region A friendly releases. What we're talking about here is Region A friendly. Do you hear? There's a lot of cool things coming out from Indicator that is going to be Region B locked. These are Region A and B, right? So I know this set has been out for, like I said, it's been out for a couple of months now, and it's gotten really high praise from people that I know and really respect. These booklets, it's really just a book. One of the reasons you're going to want the box set, probably, if you're interested in this, because you do. I mean, I love printed materials for my movies. I like stuff like this. I like printed material so that I can really, I just like curling up with these things, curling up with these booklets, and I don't know. That's me. I love really thoughtful essays on films. Video essays are good, but I like to read. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just a reader. Well, I am a reader. All right, so that's going to be the Todd Slaughter box set. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And these are, I think they're all, they're new restorations, and you saw the special features. I mean, I'm not going to go through this because that's not good YouTube for me to just sit and read special features, but numerous commentaries, interviews. A lot of this stuff is brand new too. Like 2023 is a video essay on Tod Slaughter's Repertory Company, audio recordings. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Like shorts with the new score. So that's really incredible, right? So I'm going to put that right there. 2 orphan vampires. So they're leaning really hard into the films of Jean Rollin, a French director who's really a contemporary of Jess Franco, of Jesus Franco. I don't know a lot about these movies. It's not really my scene, these whole sort of like erotic vampire movies. It's not really my I'm more into the old Hollywood stuff. But I know that a ton of you guys love this stuff. I know like Jess Franco is an industry unto himself, and Jean Rollin is as well. These movies have had video presentations before. I know Redemption put out a lot of this stuff. But this is new 4K restoration. They've been given new 4K restorations. You know what? I'll talk about both of these together. And I had to do a little censorship on the cover here because there is nudity on this cover. And look, I'm just not going to risk it on YouTube. I'm not going to risk getting demonetized because of some artistic nudity. I'm just not going to do it. So you can go to the internet right now and you can see what this looks like, right? But these are both 4K restorations. They sent me the Blu-rays, so I'm not going to be able to comment on the 4K quality because that's not what they sent. You should know, though, that there are 4Ks for these. There's a US 4K, a US Blu-ray, and for what they are, which is erotic vampire movies, they are really, really well done. These hard boxes. They're limited, so these were limited to 10,000 numbered units worldwide. So there's 6,000 6,000 4Ks, not UKs, 4Ks, and 4,000 Blu-rays. So 6,000 4Ks, 4,000 Blu-rays of each of these. And I got number 3,235 of 4,000. I have no idea if that's any indicator of where in the print run these are. I don't know. It could just be totally random. I don't know. And for the Shiver of the Vampires, I got number 2,109 out of 4,000. All right, so here's this. I'm going to show you the covers. I'm going to flip them around, and I'm going to let you read. Are we centered? I have to look through the middle to see if we're centered up. lined up. All right, get that a little bit closer. So freeze that. Read it all. These J card. Well, is this a J card when it's so short? It's like a lowercase J. It's a really short J card, but it is a J card. This comes away, and you're just left with that hard box. I'm not going to be able to show you everything here because there is, as I say, there's nudity kind of everywhere on these releases. Cardboard packaging with the plastic hub. I mean, if you have bought these movies before and you love them, I will say this. They have really loaded them up with new features. Like if you're a special features buff, there's a lot of good stuff here. Which you just saw, right? I'm not going to read it to you, but lots and lots of stuff. The booklets are gorgeous. They run, I'm sure it just said, about 80 pages. And lots of, here, try to find photos that I can show. You know, really good photography. These movies are full of nudity. I mean, absolutely full of nudity. And so are the booklets. So I got to be really careful with that. But if you love these limited edition presentations, you're going to be really excited about these. Again, I don't know a whole lot about these movies. I didn't grow up with this stuff. It's not really my particular area of focus. But I know you guys dig them. I know you're mad about them. So let me see what I can show you from this. Here we go. And again, is this one the same size? About 80 pages? Looks like it. So they've continued to release these too. I don't have them on hand, but there are more similar erotic vampire movies, or just, you know, that Jean Rollin thing. There's more of that available here. I'm concerned about these staying up. There. Okay. Yeah, okay. And we're going to end this video with the thing I probably have the most to say about, which is From Hollywood to Heaven, the lost and saved films of the Ormond family. So again, these just showed up. So I haven't watched any of this stuff yet. What I know about the Todd Browning box set, not Todd Browning, what I know about the Tod Slaughter box set, how I would love a Todd Browning box set. We kind of got one from Criterion, but not really. Like the Freaks box set, kind of a Todd Browning box set. I know some of those movies, right? I've seen some of those movies. These is super obscure stuff, right? This is like the level of obscurity as the Michael J. Murphy box set, which is they've taken an exploitation filmmaker's career and put it in a box. Here, let me tell you before I get going here. So I got number 4,645 out of 6,000. In fact, here. Freeze that and read all. I mean, there's a ton of stuff there. What's like, so it's I think it's 13 movies, but then there's more than that here too, because there's like, as the bonuses. Like, these are the bonuses, guys. It's like Lash LaRue. A Man in His Memories from 1992. That's 70 minutes. It's a rarely seen documentary directed by Tim Ormond, in which the beloved Western star reflects on his life and work. That would be worth the price of admission for me alone, just because I love Lash LaRue and those old Westerns and stuff. June Carr, The Virtual Vaudevillian from 1997. Forgotten Memories from 1997. It's a short drama. Like, the extras here are pretty crazy. By the way, you want a little sexy? We'll do a little sexy. So here's the strip here. Oh, I like the way they did that. So what I was going to say is, this is the most interesting to me because it's like an exploitation director's career in a box, but so it's the Ormonds, husband, wife, son. They were exploitation filmmakers in what's the earliest year here? Is it like 59? 1951. Exploitation filmmakers who were on a plane that was about to crash. I think it was Tim, the dad, the patriarch, was like, Lord, save this plane, save us, and I will dedicate my life to making movies for you. The plane lands, roughly. They're injured, but it lands. And then they go from making like exploitation, TNA stuff, to like the exotic ones, which I think was the one they made right after the plane crashed. So they didn't immediately switch over. But then they start making religious films to be shown in churches about like the very real threat of fire and damnation. The second coming, Christ's return, is imminent. So look at these. These are the art cards, the little lithographs that come with these things. This is the one I'm probably most interested in. This is 40 Acre Feud, starring Ferlin Husky, Minnie Pearl, Ray Price, George Jones, Loretta Lynn. Dale Reeves, and many, many others. I'm super excited about that. But I am going to be so bothered by this because I've talked about... I left one behind. Believer's Heaven. I grew up like in such a fundamental, like really like cult-like fundamental. I've talked about this so many times, right? You're tired of hearing about it, but very, very. I grew up Pentecostal. Okay, I grew up Pentecostal, speaking in tongues, all that stuff. Church 3 times a week. My dad was a deacon in the church. Like this is the kind of stuff. I think these movies are like Baptist focused, but this is my upbringing, and so seeing the change from like the fun 60s and 50s exploitation movies to just like, you're going to go to hell, you better repent. It's going to be hard for me. Even this booklet has nudity in it, so I got to be really careful with this stuff. But they divided it into 2 sections of the exploitation films. Is this okay to show? The exploitation films, and then it switches over to the religious films. The Burning Hell. Tortured lost souls burning forever. This is another really thick booklet full of, I'm looking for a page count here. 100-page book full of photos from these guys' career and what the extras talk about. I think maybe it's in the book. There was a flood in 2010 and most of the original elements got completely damaged in the flood. And so this is sort of like the best that we'll ever get, the best we can ever have for this box set. And again, I think they've got 3 features on each disc here. And again, at least one of these has nudity under the disc, so I can't show you that. I remember liking this one though. This is this disc right here. You pop this off. Like, yes, sign me up. I'm here for it. So in a lot of cases, like this is basically saving a career, saving a career's worth of work from total obscurity. I say total obscurity. I never heard of these movies to begin with. I knew nothing about this. And I'm both attracted to it and repulsed by it at the same time, which I think is probably the intention. Even the introduction to this. But by the way, this is presented by Nicholas Winding Refn. Like, great. Did he get an Oscar? I'm trying to remember if he's like award-winning filmmaker, right? Presenting these real weird movies. And like the introduction to this is like, if they work, like it's amazing when they work, if they work, is like what he says. So purely probably for the exploitation fans. But listen, that's an interesting area of preservation. Where we're at now with this, the boutique marketplace, is we do get stuff like, the Tod Slaughter box set is very different from the Ormond Family box set, which is, are they different? Is that thesis even correct? Are they that different? I'm not sure. Well, one is like polished studio pictures. The other is like 16 millimeter exploitation movies, right? Like true exploitation, drive-in, grindhouse kind of stuff. The Tod Slaughter stuff is a little bit more, it's British, right? So it's more elevated than, well, I say, oh, he's gone and murdered another person. Oh dear. It's a little bit different. But listen, I'm excited to be back on the indicator wagon, and I'm excited to be covering this stuff moving forward. And I would love to know from you guys what you think about some of these movies, because again, I'm coming in pretty blind right now. I know some of the Tod Slaughter stuff. I've yet to watch any of the Ormond Family movies. So if you have recommendations, really, I just like to talk about this stuff. I hope that these videos serve as a jumping off point rather than like the be all end all. I like the comments of my videos to be like hanging out at the video store and people just talking about what works, or maybe even the comic book store. I don't know, like what worked, what didn't work, what do we want? People are watching. Maybe people from Indicator are going to be watching this video. Maybe they're going to be reading those comments. So this is your direct channel to talk about what you want. So let's do it. Let's continue the conversation about these movies. I will put links in the description of this video to where you can purchase these 4 box sets, or these 4, I say box sets, I know these are like 2 of these are single movies, but they're still in a nice box. So I kind of consider them a box set. Anyway, links in the description of this video that would support Cereal at Midnight while also getting you the cool stuff. It's one way you can support Cereal at Midnight outside of Patreon, YouTube memberships, which cost about $5 a month. You get an exclusive video every single week. Most importantly, yeah, you get something, but most importantly, it's a way you can support Cereal at Midnight, because I don't like to do ads. I don't like to feel like I've sold you a bill of goods. Like, I could not imagine trying to talk about these movies and then taking a break to talk about stamps, or mattresses, or cereal, even though it's Cereal at Midnight. Like, hey, we all need a healthier cereal in the morning, right? Like, I just could not imagine it. That's terrible to me. So I don't do it. When I get opportunities like that, I say no. It's you and it's me. So whatever you can do to support Cereal at Midnight, even if it's just spreading the word, I appreciate it. And I appreciate Indicator too for sending this stuff over. I'm excited to be talking about these. Really, some of the greatest releases that are coming out anywhere in the world are happening right now in 2024. We'll be there to talk about it, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.